today we're here to talk about your senior career plan, and it's really a series of steps that you can take during your final year on campus to make sure that you are ready for your career journey. So what we'll talk about today is based on what it is that you're primarily interested in. So if you are hoping to work immediately after college, then the first section will be for you. If you're thinking about graduate or professional school, then you'll definitely want to pay attention to that section. And if you're still considering options, then you'll definitely want to stay listening to both. And then finally, to stay focused, to really keep yourself organized as you continue through your senior year and you start to pursue those different employment or graduate school options.
I'm another one of the career specialists, and I'll be popping in and out throughout the presentation to support my colleague with it. So here we have the learning objectives for this recorded workshop. So hopefully by the end of it, you'll be able to identify job search methods, describe how to search online for jobs, and explain the importance of tracking applications for jobs or graduate programs. So no matter what your next step is, whether it's jobs or graduate programs, we hope that you'll have your next steps for how to go about searching for these things, and also how to track your applications and your progress so that you can do adequate follow-up if needed. At the bottom, we have two of our NACE career readiness competencies. We'll go over these in more detail in the next slide, but these two are the ones that are associated with this workshop as you kind of plan for your next steps after graduation. So the first is critical thinking. So this is your ability to analyze and connect your existing skills and experiences and communicate through applications and things like that to like an employer or a grad school program, how these skills and experiences have prepared you for this next step that you're looking at. Then we have career and self-development. So you've identified, what is your goal, and you are taking this next step, whether it is, your first job out of graduation, or it's identifying a graduate or professional school program that will help you get there.
And this slide has all of our career readiness competencies that NACE has put together. And NACE is the National Association of Colleges and Employers. And what they have done is come up with 8 different competencies that really highlight that a college student, is ready for the job market. So the ones that we highlighted today are just 2 of those 8, but hopefully during your time on campus, you are developing in all of these areas. Okay, so the first section is all about seeking employment. When it comes to seeking employment, the first step that you want to take is making sure that all of your materials are ready. So that's what we mean when we say prepare your toolkit. So if you haven't already, you can get your resume critiqued with a peer advisor or a career specialist to make sure that you are really putting your best self out there and really prepared so that employers can see the great skills and experiences that you bring to the table. You also can practice your interviewing skills, and we have a couple of different options for you depending on what works best for your schedule and your particular needs. So one option is to make an appointment, and you can meet with a career specialist to go over any logistical questions that you have, maybe about a virtual interview or about a panel interview or the different types of questions that you might face. And you can also practice a mock interview with a career specialist where you'll be able to get real-time feedback from one of our staff members so that you can really hone those answers and make sure that they are as strong as possible. Another fantastic resource that is available to you is called Standout, and it's available in your Handshake account. You can click on Career Center and then Resources, and Standout is among those resources. And it is a 24/7 available platform where you can practice pre-recorded questions and you can record your responses if you have a webcam. And the great thing about it is that you'll be able to see, do you use a lot of filler words? Like I just said, the words, or, maybe you'll say like, or yeah, or something to fill that space. And it really helps you to identify where you're doing that and to try to counteract saying those filler words. You can also pay attention to, are you paying attention, or are you providing eye contact to the camera? So, a lot of interviews are going to be taking place over Zoom or other virtual platforms. And so getting that practice to interview in that sort of setting is going to be super helpful because it will very closely mirror the real experience that you may have. You can practice preset questions that the Career Center staff have put together for you, or you can actually design your own interview questions based on whatever challenges you may have with different types of questions. And you can review those on your own. You can also make an appointment with your career specialist so that we can go over them together with you and talk about areas of strength as well as any areas for improvement. So once you have that toolkit put together, the next step is to really start to implement your search. So if you haven't yet made an appointment with your career specialist to talk about your career goals, what you're hoping to accomplish, I would highly recommend that you do that because we can work with you based on what it is that you're interested in finding. So what is that dream job of yours? And what is the best methodology? For some of you, it might be online. For some of you, it might be through networking. It might be attending job fairs or information sessions. So we can really help you to create a tailored approach that's going to help you be as successful as possible in your job search. We also recommend that, of course, you continue searching online. So, you may use some websites. We would highly recommend Handshake and CareerShift. But there are other ones that are out there based on different industries or interests that you may have. So those are also great. To focus on Handshake, the beautiful thing about Handshake is that employers have to post jobs to UC Riverside. And what that means is that, for one, they've at least heard of UCR before because they made that choice to post that opportunity to our students. But also, some of them have actually hired UCR students in the past. So they may have a very strong relationship with us, and you just have an added advantage of applying through Handshake. Another resource that's within Handshake is called CareerShift. And CareerShift, like Standout, is listed in those resources. So you can find them again, Career Center, when you're logged into Handshake, clicking on Career Center, Resources, and then CareerShift. And CareerShift will search every public job board that exists. So anything that doesn't require a password. So things like Indeed, organizational websites, again, any public job board, and it puts it all in one place. So it's super convenient, super comprehensive. However, they may never have heard of UCR before. So you're kind of missing that great advantage that Handshake may provide to you. Again, it's great as a complementary tool. I think that it's definitely worth checking out. Just know that, it'll be more comprehensive, but may not be as helpful in some cases. Then the other options that exist are attending our job fairs. So the Career Center hosts several different job fairs throughout the year, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about those on the following slides. But just to make you aware, they're fantastic for taking that networking offline and in person. Even if they're virtual, it's still the in-person connection or that face-to-face connection that you may not be able to get in other means. And on that note, I think tapping into your network is also an incredibly useful thing to do because the more you share what it is that you're interested in, whether it's, I want to work in government or I'm really interested in tech, then you never know when the person sitting next to you in class or that's in your breakout room on Zoom or, your supervisor, you never know when one of them has that connection that they can put you in contact with and get you to that next opportunity. And by that same token, you may also be able to connect a friend of yours or a student, a colleague, a peer of yours to their next opportunity. So it's always worth it to be talking with everyone that you know and sharing what it is that you're interested in. And of course, I have to mention when we're talking about networking, LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, if you haven't yet created one, is a really great resource for students, but also professionals throughout their careers. of course, it's a great place to connect with others in your industries of choice and at organizations you'd like to work for to get that insider perspective. So I highly recommend it. It's a great way to keep track of folks throughout your career, even when they change positions and their emails may change. But you can also use it because every institution, of higher education has a LinkedIn page. And so you can actually use LinkedIn to connect with alumni of UCR, or if you transferred from another school, that transfer school will also have a LinkedIn page. And the alumni who have accounts are linked to that page whenever they list their degree. And that way you can see, what are students who majored in, or what are alumni who majored in chemistry doing with their degrees? Or what about folks that majored in public policy or liberal studies? Like, what are those different jobs that might exist for me? Helps you with your exploration, but it might also serve as a starting point to connections and searching for positions.
So, as far as career fairs, these are the ones that historically we host in the fall quarter. Most of these are boutique style, meaning that they are dedicated to specific industries and employers within these industries. So we have the work study job fair, which is for employers who have work study opportunities open to students. Next is the Business and Diversity Expo. So this one does have an emphasis on business, but there are also diverse employers. In other years, these have been separate. But for this year in particular, we have combined the two. Next, we have the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Career and Internship Fair. So the positions here might be more relevant to students within CNAS and BCOE. And then lastly, I believe this fair is new this year. So we have the Public Service and Social Impact Job Fair. So if you are interested in a career in public service, or you are interested in careers where you can have, a strong social impact on the community, on individuals, this is the fair for you. Lastly, we have the Graduate Professional and Law School Information Day Fair. I will talk a little bit more about these later on in the presentation when we talk about graduate school. In the winter quarter, we have traditionally our engineering and technology career fair, which has been converted into an expo. So not only is this a place where employers who hire engineers and are in the field of technology, they also promote professional development throughout this event. So usually the professional development component, it's very similar to a conference. There are multiple workshops that you can attend. And then at the end of the event, then that is when the career fair takes place, where employers are there to meet with you, to talk to you about their organizations, and also to tell you more about their internship and full-time job opportunities. The other fair that we have traditionally in the winter is the teacher job fair. So this is where numerous school districts from all over the country attend in order to recruit individuals who are completing the teacher credential program for their openings. In the spring, the two job fairs that we plan to host are the Spring Job Fair Career Night. This one, as the name implies, occurs later in the day. So if you work full-time or you have a family, this one might be better for your schedule to attend. This one, unlike the others that we spoke about, aren't geared necessarily to a specific industry. So and also with the Inland Empire Job Fair as well, we have employers from different fields and industries in attendance who are still looking to fill their internship opportunities either for summer or fall, and also full-time opportunities as well. Before I talk about the Health Professions School Information Day, I wanted to go to the Inland Empire Job Fair since it's another job fair, and this one is our last scheduled fair for the year. With this one, the focus is on local employers. So if you are interested in staying in the Inland Empire or close to it, this would be a great fair to attend, and it's a great way to get to know organizations that maybe you haven't heard of and who are looking to fill opportunities. And in addition to these, usually somewhere in the middle of the quarter, we have the Health Professions School Information Day. If you are interested in the health professions, this is a great opportunity for you to get to know the representatives from different programs across various health professions to learn more information about their program before you start applying.
Now, as you're searching online, I know we talked a little bit about Handshake in a previous slide, but another opportunity that is available to you is using Handshake and actually making Handshake work for you. So on the job search, if you conduct a search on Handshake, you will see in this example, I've done a keyword search for analyst. And when the results come up, you can see that little box that says don't miss out. And there's an option to save your search. And this box that's on the right-hand side that says job alert settings, you can title this search, you can let Handshake know how they should notify you of opportunities and how often you would like to get those notifications. So, you know, maybe you're a busy student, you've got midterms, maybe you're working, maybe you're volunteering, maybe you're taking care of family. You may not always think about logging into Handshake to search for the next opportunity for yourself. So this is a fantastic way to make Handshake work for you. And of course, when it comes to searching for jobs, I would love to say that there are no fraudulent positions out there, but there are opportunities, and some of you may have already gotten some of these. Typically, they come into your student email account, and they are usually, they might be from a Gmail or from a corporate looking email address that actually is not corporate. So it might say McDonald instead of McDonald's.com. or Walmart's instead of Walmart. So you want to think about, you know, be on the lookout for email addresses. Typically they say that they are traveling and they need support while they're home running errands, and the job really just feels too good to be true. So in that case, if it feels too good to be true, a lot of work and maybe not a lot of effort on your part, it might be. So if you have any questions, you can always email the Career Center at careerrecruiting@ucr.edu, and that will reach our employer relations team, who can better speak to if an employer is fraudulent or legitimate. All right, so now we're going to shift gears a little bit to apply to graduate and professional schools.
As far as graduate and professional school fairs, we have the Graduate Professional Law School Information Day Fair. This one is slated for fall. And at these fairs, in addition to the health professions information fair, you can learn more about the different programs from the representatives themselves of these programs. You can ask them questions about the application process, about the programs, and sometimes they have fee waivers as well. So it's a really great opportunity to not only ask questions, but also to make it easier for you to apply financially as well. In addition to these fairs, we also occasionally host information sessions for specific schools and programs. So keep an eye out for those since those can occur at varying times. And in addition to conducting this search, whether you are going to these fairs or searching online through a site like petersons.com or a combination of these two, track your application deadlines and the materials that are required. Programs can have very different materials and deadlines. So it can be really easy to lose track of things really quickly, unfortunately. So we recommend that you create like a spreadsheet of some kind, or if you prefer paper planning, write these things down, record them, and have them in one place so you can easily see, how many letters of recommendation do I need for this program, or do I need to take the GRE for this one? So like who to send it to. So I highly recommend that you do that since it can be very confusing very quickly since they have different requirements. And in addition to the application materials, make sure that you continue to gain related experience, whether it's on campus, in the community, or volunteering. Make sure that you do this at the same time to continue to build up your experience and your skills so that you can bring these things to your graduate program or professional program of choice.
So finally, we're entering the home stretch here, and we're going to talk about what it means to stay focused. So as you're applying, whether it's for graduate school or for positions, jobs, full-time or otherwise, find a way to really help yourself stay organized. And for some of you, this might mean an Excel document or Google Sheets where you can look at, okay, what's the position or the program? When did I apply? Have I followed up? Have I had an interview, or are there any next steps that I should be aware of? And really helping yourself stay accountable, because you might find yourself applying to 10 jobs a week, and it's very challenging to keep all of those facts straight. So the more you do ahead of time, the more you will thank yourself later. So really find a system that works for you. Some of you might prefer handwritten notes. Some of you might like a calendar, whatever works. Find something that's going to help you to stay organized. Of course, continue to network, and LinkedIn is fantastic because it helps you really keep track of your network. You don't necessarily have to hold on to email addresses or anything along those lines, but you just want to keep that network going and keep preparing for the next opportunity, and sharing what it is that you're interested in, because until you have secured something, you still want to keep searching so that you're never stuck with nothing to do. And of course, you'll want to take advantage of the Career Center, so making sure that you are coming to our workshops. If we're hosting information sessions for employers that you're interested in, of course, coming to those, because it gives you the chance to really meet face-to-face with an employer, get those questions that you have answered, and learn what it means to stand out for their particular applications. And the same is true for graduate programs. And then finally, as we've talked about for the career fairs, you want to make sure that you're attending those, doing the research ahead of time to know who's going to be there, what opportunities they have, and making sure that your resume is ready for them.
Lastly, I wanted to talk to you about the UCR Career Network, which is an online community for networking, mentoring, and job opportunities for alumni and students. It functions very similarly to LinkedIn. Some of the differences are you have to opt in to be part of this network, whereas on LinkedIn, if you put that you went to UCR or graduated from UCR, you're automatically pulled into the alumni network on there. So the people who are on here are here because they want to connect with other people, whether it's alum or current students. So I highly recommend that you take advantage of this platform so that you can connect with people who are working in the field that you're interested in, maybe get leads for a job or internship search and get some advice there. Another unique feature to the UCR Career Network is that you don't have to take it off of the Career Network in order to connect with other people. There is video conferencing call capabilities built into the platform. If you're interested in being part of the UCR Career Network, you can register at careernetwork.ucr.edu.
And that wraps up our workshop for the Senior Career Plan. And if you have any questions, you are always welcome to email careercounseling@ucr.edu. You're also able to